The National Hurricane Center just released the 2026 forecast, a below-average season. And I've already seen what happens next. People exhale, cancel the prep they meant to do last fall, and tell themselves they've got another year. Here's what I spent 20 years learning in corporate risk management. Average is not your protection. One storm hitting your neighborhood is a 100% event for your household, regardless of what the seasonal forecast says. We grew up watching the emergency broadcast system interrupt Saturday morning cartoons. We know that tone. We just convinced ourselves it was never actually for us. It can be. Most people think about hurricane prep the way they think about packing for a camping trip, flashlights, a few water jugs, some canned goods. That's not a plan, that's a shopping list. And honestly, it's not much different from what your mom threw together the night before a blizzard in 1978. In corporate business continuity, we don't ask, what do we need to survive? We ask, what does normal life look like in this household? And what breaks if the infrastructure goes down for 3 days, 5 days, 10 days? Those are two very different questions. Think about your actual household right now. Does anyone take medication that needs to be refrigerated? Is anyone on a CPAP machine? Do you have a family member with mobility issues who can't just grab a bag and go? Do you know what your neighbors' situations are? Those aren't gear questions. Those are continuity questions. And the below-average headline doesn't change a single one of them. A below-average season in 2005 still gave us Katrina. The forecast is a statistical probability for the basin. Your household risk is calculated differently. The first question isn't, am I prepared? It's prepared for what specifically? Your threat profile depends on where you live. Coastal Florida, storm surge and evacuation. Inland Georgia, prolonged power outages and flooding. Texas Hill Country, flash flooding is your highest probability event, not win. When I built continuity plans for corporations, every engagement started with a threat matrix. A realistic ranking of what's likely to hit you, how often, and how severe. Not every possible disaster, the realistic ones for your geography. For most of the Gulf Coast and Southeast, your top 3 threats are extended power outages, flooding, and forced evacuation. Not always together, not always in that order. But your plan needs to work independently for each scenario. Your homework for this one: look up your county's hazard mitigation plan. FEMA requires every county to publish one. It will tell you exactly what your area is most vulnerable to. Takes about 10 minutes to find online. Remember when your dad used to keep a NOAA weather radio on the kitchen counter? He was onto something. That low-tech habit was a legitimate early warning system, and it still works today. Real quick, if this kind of no-nonsense prep content is useful to you, hit subscribe and the bell. I drop new videos every week, and unlike most of what's out there, I'm not trying to sell you a bunker. Just the framework. Back to it. When I was building continuity plans for hospitals, places that literally cannot afford to lose power, we always designed for 3 time horizons. The first 4 hours, the first 24 hours, and the first 72 hours. Your household needs the same 3 horizon thinking. The first 4 hours after a major storm are chaos. Cell towers are overloaded, roads may be blocked, emergency services are overwhelmed, you are on your own. Can your household function for 4 hours without power and without outside help? The first 24 hours are when the gaps show up. The medication situation, the food that didn't survive the refrigerator going out, the family member who didn't know the plan, the phone that died because the battery bank wasn't charged. The 72-hour mark is when outside resources, FEMA, local emergency management, utility crews, start arriving at scale. Your job is to reach hour 72 without a household crisis. Walk through your home this week. What breaks at hour 4? What breaks at hour 24? Fix those first. Everything else is secondary. I've watched people go through disaster recovery for 2 decades, and the same 3 gaps appear every time. Gap 1, medications. This is the one that becomes a genuine emergency. If anyone in your household takes prescription medication, and in our demographic, most of us do, what's your plan if every pharmacy in your area is closed for a week? Talk to your doctor before hurricane season starts. Many will write a 30-day emergency supply prescription. Most insurance plans have provisions for emergency refills. This is not complicated, but it has to happen before the storm, not during it. Gap 2, cash. ATMs don't work without power. Card readers don't work without an internet connection. We are the last generation that actually remembers life before the ATM. So this shouldn't be a foreign concept. You need actual paper bills in your house. Enough to cover gas, food, and basic needs for a week. Small bills, not hundreds, because nobody can make change in a crisis. Gap 3, the family communication plan. If a storm makes landfall while your family is scattered, kids at school, spouse at work, what is the plan? Who calls whom? What is the out-of-area contact? Where is the meeting point if you can't reach each other by phone? Our parents' generation had a plan for this. It was called a phone tree, written on an index card and taped to the refrigerator next to the Niagara Falls magnet. We laughed at it. Turns out it worked. This conversation needs to happen around your kitchen table before June 1st, not during a mandatory evacuation order. Here's something almost nobody talks about. What happens after the storm is often harder than surviving it. The insurance claim process, the FEMA application, the contractor negotiations while your roof is covered in a blue tarp. I've worked with people who were completely prepared for the storm and completely unprepared for the recovery. In corporate continuity planning, we maintain what's called a business impact analysis, a document that captures everything critical before anything goes wrong. For your household, that's your emergency binder. Think of it as the Rolodex your dad kept in the kitchen junk drawer, except it actually matters and you won't lose it in a move. Your emergency binder should contain copies of all insurance policies with the claims phone numbers on the front page, a home inventory with photos or video, copies of important IDs and documents, your family contact list, your medical information, including current medications and doctors, and your key financial account information. Keep one copy at home in a waterproof bag or container. Send a digital copy to a trusted family member in another state. This document does not photograph well for social media. It is not exciting. It is the single most valuable thing you can have in the weeks after a major disaster, and the vast majority of households don't have it. By the way, if you want to go deeper on the emergency binder, specifically, I built an entire video around that. What goes in it, how to organize it, and how to make sure it actually survives the storm with you. I'll drop the link in the description and up in the card, worth 10 minutes of your time before June. So here's where we land. Below average is a forecast for the Atlantic Basin. It is not a forecast for your street. Your household risk this season is what it is. And one named storm making landfall near you is all it takes to find out whether your plan is real or just a shopping list. The framework is straightforward. Know your specific threat profile. Think in 3 time horizons. Close your 3 most common gaps: medications, cash, and family communication. And build your emergency binder before you need it. Your homework this week, one thing. Pull out your homeowner's or renter's insurance policy and find the claim's phone number. Write it on an index card, yes, an actual index card, just like 1987. And put it somewhere that is not on your phone. That's it. 10 minutes, done. Hurricane season runs from June 1st through November 30th. Below average doesn't mean no storms. It means the odds are slightly better. Plan like the odds don't matter, because for your household, they don't. If this was useful, subscribe. New videos drop every week, all of it built around the same idea. Real plans, not panic. And if you want to keep going right now, that emergency binder video is queued up next. Click it, it's the one thing most prepared households are still missing. I'm Ernie. This is Prepared Not Paranoid. Build the plan, skip the panic.